Well, hello and good morning to everybody. First of all, I have to apologize for my English pronunciation. It's not the best in the world. I'm from Spain, sorry. So, but anyway, I will introduce myself briefly. My name is David Mirallo, Infrastructure Senior Advisor in the Rail System Department of UIC, like my colleague Harald. Expert seconded from ADIF. ADIF is the Railway Infrastructure Manager of Spain. And very briefly also, on behalf of UIC, I want to welcome you and thank you for attending the second Masonry Arts Bridges workshop. Sorry. Thank you to the host. Thank you to Adrian and to my colleagues Christine Hasson and Harald Sadler, of course. I know very well you have worked a lot in the preparations, and especially to all the speakers, of course. After attending the first workshop in Madrid, it's a privilege for me to be here with you again in this beautiful and historic place. So, I would like to tell you a few words about UIC, about what UIC is and what UIC does. Okay, let's go. UIC is the International Union of Railways. Is the Union Internationale des Chemins de Fer in French. Sorry, again for my French. That's why the acronym is UIC. It's the worldwide professional association representing the railway sector and promoting rail transport. Our main asset is to have 200 members and 700 leaflets. The new International Railway Solutions. Now the leaflets are called IRS. Our three leading values, as you can see, are unity, solidarity, and universality. This is because UIC represents members with different features, different issues, and different levels of development. So, UIC is a long-life organization. It was created in 1922 in Paris, where state representatives create an international and permanent rail administration. So, still today, UIC continues to promote exchanges of information, experience, and best practice across the world. Thus, UIC is the Association for Technical Cooperation between railway companies. So, these are the UIC members all around the world. As you can appreciate, UIC covers almost the entire globe. And I want to give you some figures. UIC covers 1 million kilometers of lines, 3,000 billion passengers kilometers, and 10,000 billion tons kilometers. Our General Assembly is formed by 200 members, and our UIC Executive Board is formed by 21 members. And, well, of course, this is our well-known General Director, Jean-Pierre Louineau. And UIC cooperates with more than 100 institutions, highlighting in the financial part the World Bank and the European Investment Bank. And for the technical part, we have relationships with ISO, UNIFE, and I think one of the most important is with EU, the Agency for Railways. With this slide, focus on technical aspects. We try to show that in a very complex institutional framework with many actors involved, there is complementarity between the EU Agency for Railways, the UIC, and other standard setting bodies like CN, ISO. On the left side, you can see the UIC. The UIC is responsible for the system and the services. This is very important. This is the main difference because on the right side, you have which are responsible for the products. So this is the main difference. The organization structure of UIC is divided into these four main areas: rail system, passenger, freight, and fundamental values. And we have these transverse departments, which are standardization, communications, institutional relations, human resources, and finance. So now it's time to tell you about the missions of UIC. Promote rail transport at world level. Well, it's, obviously is the most important, with the aim of reaching future mobility challenge. Promote interoperability, of course. Facilitate international cooperation among members with sharing of best practices. Support members in their efforts to develop new business and new areas of activities, and improve technical and environmental performance of rail transport, improve competitiveness, reducing cost. And the vital points to focus on and to be developed are the following: environment and sustainable development, safety and security, freight, railway signaling and control command, and standardization. To achieve this goal, the UIC, as a standard setting organization, creates new international railway solutions, IRS. These documents, IRS, well, have this appearance. This is the typical cover of a new document. And what happened with the former leaflets? There is a very ambitious program to migrate the former leaflets into new IRSs. IRS progressively are replacing UIC leaflets, and there will be no more leaflets published. Former leaflets will be scanned and stored. But anyway, they will be accessible to all. And in order to clarify everything, I would like to show you, I would like to finish my presentation by showing you an explanatory video. Well, if my colleague Harald agrees. Do we have time enough?
What are international railway solutions? Practically since its creation, rail transport has been about technical harmonisation and compatibility. Compatibility between infrastructure and tracks, and the rolling stock that operates on these tracks. Compatibility between locomotives and various sources of energy supply. Compatibility between the trains that operate on a network, thanks to signalling and traffic management systems designed to protect the trains from accidental contact and collisions with other trains or obstacles. For rail traffic operations to be compatible, they must adhere to common rules based on technical harmonisation. Technical harmonisation enables connections to be made between railway lines and, on a larger scale, between railway networks, thus enabling large intercontinental corridors to link several continents by rail. Technical railway harmonisation has been the aim of UIC, the International Union of Railways, since its creation in 1922. Its members, the world's railways, have over the years developed the UIC code, comprising UIC leaflets, which define the common rules to ensure safety and efficiency in railway transport operations. However, what does technical harmonisation involve today, in the 21st century? It is based on three basic foundations. First of all, on the regulations enacted by the states and international bodies, such as, for example, the European Commission. These rules are legally binding. Then there are the standards published by standardisation bodies. They conduct work on the basic components of the railway system, whether mechanic, electric, IT or energy-based. The standards define the characteristics and expected performance of the equipment to meet a set of requirements. Manufacturers are particularly active in this area, as are railways, though to a slightly lesser degree. Finally, there is rail's contribution in the shape of sector standards. The railways are also interested in how the components work, but within the context of their railway system. The components are nowadays interdependent. They interact with a whole range of different working environments and cultures. It is this reality and global dimension that is of interest to UIC members. For every relevant subject, volunteer railways develop guidelines for good practice. They produce recommendations which then serve as professional standards and which are used to ensure harmonisation and economic efficiency in the railways. This work is formalised through the International Railway Solutions, the IRSs, and so UIC leaflets will gradually become IRSs. Thus, UIC acts as a standard-setting organisation. So that, in short, explains the UIC IRSs. They are the outcome of independent work conducted by the railway operators in order to harmonise the railways in an efficient and realistic way. Though the IRSs have replaced the UIC leaflets, they have kept their universal and global objective. They help the railways in their aim to serve society and the economy.